So one simple subject line I wrote for an 8-figure client boosted their open rates from 32% to 67% in just 2 days. Today I'll show you the exact subject line we used, why it works so well, and how you can easily copy this idea for your own emails right away. A client of mine runs a very successful company making tens of millions a year, but they had a big problem. Their important emails weren't getting opened enough, basically. The open rate was stuck at about 32%, and they tried sending emojis, they tried sending emails at different times, they tried changing the preview text. Nothing basically helped. The problem wasn't their tricks. The real problem was that their emails didn't make people curious enough to basically open them. So I used this simple idea from behavioral science called the curiosity gap. And here's how it works. People feel curious when they realize there's something they don't know but want to find out. When you create curiosity, people naturally want to close that gap between them not knowing something. And it feels good to learn the answer. It actually feels quite rewarding. But here's the most important part. When you make someone curious in your subject line, you must immediately give them the answer right inside the email. If you don't, that's just clickbait. People hate that and it actually loses trust. But if you answer their curiosity and you answer it well, they actually feel rewarded. They get a spike of dopamine. And they then, as a consequence, trust you. So here's exactly what I wrote for my clients' emails. Their original subject line was, "Your monthly update is here." The new subject line I wrote was, "We found something in your account." Then as soon as they opened that email, we quickly explained what we'd found. We said, "Quick heads up, your usage went up to 23% this week. 2 settings are holding you back, and here's exactly how you fix them." Here's why this works so well. First, it was about something that mattered personally to the reader, their own account. That's called relevance in behavioral science. Second, it made them curious. What exactly did we find? That's called curiosity. And third, we answered that curiosity right away, clearly and quickly. And this simple subject line took their email open rates from 32% all the way up to 67% in just 2 days. And because of this, a lot of customers then opened these emails and then logged into the app and actually upsold themselves. So they got this uptick in revenue, which they actually weren't expecting. They were just trying to solve the open rate problem. So behavioral science isn't about tricks. It's just understanding how people think and how they feel. Now, how can you do this for your own emails? Here are 3 easy subject line ideas you can actually use today. So template 1, for abandoned carts, for those of you in e-commerce or on some sort of website which sells products through kind of like a Shopify. When someone leaves something in their cart without buying, you could just send them a simple email with a simple subject line which says something like, "Still want this by Friday? Your item is reserved for 3 hours." Then the email explains exactly how they can get it before it's actually gone. Template 2. For getting users activated again. So for instance, if you're selling a software product, I used to sell software as well. You can send out an email which has a subject line saying something like, "We removed one feature and users loved it." And you can do this by just providing updates on where you're at with your software. And then your email clearly explains what feature you removed and why it made things better for them. It's called reactivation. And template 3, I recommend this for people who have like a monthly rolling cost, whether they want to upsell their customers or upgrade them or offer them, and they have the ability to offer perhaps an annual price rather than a monthly cost. You can send out a subject line which says, "Cut your monthly bill by 27%. The 3 features teams love most," or something like that. Then the email clearly shows these features and how they will help and how upgrading to the annual plan will actually save on these costs, while also reminding them as well what features customers generally love the most, because this allows people to think, "Oh, I've never used that feature. I'm actually going to log back into this device." So here's another simple rule to always follow when you're doing emails like this. It's called the 1 lever rule. Lots of people put too many persuasion ideas into one email. I get emails all the time on a load of different email lists because I like to see what other marketers are doing as well. And I get these emails where they've got urgency in it, they've got social proof, they've got scarcity. It's all at once, right? And it's overwhelming you. This just confuses people and it makes them suspicious as well. It makes them suspicious as if you're a scammer that's in 2002 trying to get people to click the most obviously scammy link, right? So instead, just use one persuasion idea per email. For example, if you pick urgency, buy now, don't use social proof as well. Don't use authority. Don't try and, do all these other little things to try and get people over the edge, because people start to smell that and they actually get put off from it. And I've seen this again and again and again in various different organizations I've consulted for using principles of persuasion. So keep your message simple, clear, and focused. People have a tendency to prefer clarity over cleverness. And when people have a tendency to stuff these emails all with these persuasion techniques, they actually forget one of the key things when you're doing email marketing, and that's actually testing things as well. Sometimes things don't work well for your particular audience or your particular, lists of emails and lists of people's email addresses that you have, because of a very specific reason that you haven't even probably thought of. So the best way is to implement these principles and actually test them against each other. So you do A/B tests so you've got an understanding of what actually works. And you will see yourself that if you overstuff emails with various different persuasion techniques, people will get turned off by that. But back onto this business where we use curiosity. The real lesson here isn't about some single magic subject line. It's about understanding what makes people curious and what makes them trust you. So you now know what to do to get that crucial first open and earn a moment of basically their attention in this attention economy. But once you have their attention, the next question is even more important. How do you price your products so they instantly perceive it as valuable? What if I told you a budget shoe store used a simple psychological loophole to get fashion experts to gladly pay over $600 for just a $35 shoe? The psychology behind pricing is one of the most powerful levers you have in your business. I break down exactly how that shoe experiment worked and give you a simple 4-step framework to price your own products with confidence in this video right here. So click on the video on the screen now and let's tackle the other half of the puzzle. Take care, see you in the next one.